I was home with my friends. We were having food sitting outside the house, but inside the yard. I have a defense of alibi, and this makes the state case very weak against me. The state case is weak in that it is practically impossible for me to kill 2 well-trained police officers and 2 females. I have a video footage that shows I was home. The video footage that I have, I'm not participating in any commission of the offense. I will present the 3 video footage in court. On the first video footage, I'm wearing a white hat, maroon jersey, and brown khakis or shoes. This description is on camera 3. I'm not in possession of any firearm or dangerous weapon. I wish to present and illustrate this outfit in court. However, the police took out the outfit. On camera 1, I went out to try and help the people who were shot inside the Polo Vivo. Still at this moment, I have no firearm in my possession. The motor vehicle in which the 2 women were driving in was rolling. I had to assist them. In all honesty, if I had shot them, I would not see the need to help them. Later, at 1908, the police van passes by. At that time, the police officers were already shot. I have more than 4 witnesses. I was severely tortured by the police officers. They put a plastic over my head, said I must confess to the crime. This happened more than 3 hours. I was kept at Jimiston police station. I was laying on my stomach, tightly handcuffed. During this moment, some police officers were taking videos of me and recording me. I was sure I was dying from this torture. I told the police I killed the 2 police officers. Very important news. I told the police I killed the 2 police officers and 2 women. I further told the police I did this with Yaman, which is accused number 2 in this matter. This is definitely not true. On this day, Yamal came late on the scene. He's not part of the people I was relaxing with that night. Yamal, it's actually Jamal. Jamal Meyer. I made a mistake there. There is a player called Yamal. Jamal Meyer did not kill anyone. And I said he killed largely because I was tortured. When the shooting happened, Jamal Meyer was home. He came later on the scene. I assisted the police in finding the firearms. I did so because I saw the police who took the firearms and is not arrested till today. Not even charged with accessory after the fact. I know the person because I grew up in Rege Park and it's a small place where everybody knows each other. It will be very stupid of me to kill the police officers right in front of where I stay, knowing very well that there are cameras. I cannot regard the rule of law to that extent. I did not run from the police officers. I was the one who gave the statement. I thought I would be a witness in this case, but later the police charged me. I've been painted and described as a gangster in Rege Park and a dangerous person.
Regan Gislin Collis, the first accused in the murders of 2 Gauteng anti-gang unit officers and 2 women in Rege Park, Ekurhuleni, has told the Boksburg Magistrate Court that police tortured him for more than 3 hours in an alleged attempt to force him to confess to the killings. Collis made the allegations on Tuesday during his formal bail application. His attorney, Samkeli Khuzani, read his affidavit into the record. Collis, along with Jamal Meyer, 24, and Elvino Levitt Crawford, 27, faces 8 counts of murder, 2 counts of robbery with aggravating circumstances and charges under the Firearms Control Act. All 3 accused deny involvement in the killings. Collis told the court that he intended to plead not guilty. He said he lived with his mother, grandmother, and siblings, was unemployed, and had a 5-month-old child. He left school after grade 9. He acknowledged that he had several criminal matters pending against him, including a murder case in the Boksburg Magistrates Court, 2 counts of attempted murder in the Boksburg Regional Court, and 2 robbery charges in the same court. According to Colliers, all the matters were at trial stage and had been granted bail in each of them. He said some charges had also been withdrawn by the state. He argued that his previous release on bail demonstrated that he had complied with his conditions and had never attempted to evade his court appearances. Collis told the court that he posed no danger to the public, will not interfere with witnesses or evidence, and had a fixed residential address. Collis' central argument for bail was that he had an alibi that he believed would undermine the state's case. He said he was at home with friends when the shooting occurred. They had been eating outside the house but within the property, and said, "I have a defensive alibi, and this makes the state case very weak against me." He told the court that 3 video recordings will show that he was at home at the time of the shooting. He described himself in one of the recordings as wearing a white hat, maroon jersey, and brown shoes. Collis said he only left the property after the shooting when he attempted to assist people inside a VW Polo Vivo, and said the motor vehicle in which the 2 women were driving was rolling. "I had to assist them. In all honesty, I had not shot them. If I had shot them, I would not see the need to help them." He said more than 5 witnesses could corroborate his version. Collis also denied possessing a firearm or any other dangerous weapon, and said no firearm allegedly used in the killings had been found in his possession, and said it would be very stupid of me to kill the police officers right in front of where I stay, knowing very well that there are cameras. Collis then made serious allegations about how police allegedly obtained a confession from him. He claimed officers tortured him for more than 3 hours and placed a plastic bag over his head while demanding that he confess to the killings. He said, "They put plastic over my head," said, "I must confess to the crime." This happened for more than 3 hours. He alleged that he was lying on his stomach with his hands tightly cuffed while the officers tortured him. Collis further claimed that the incident was recorded on video and said, "I was sure I was dying from this torture." He told the court that he eventually confessed to killing the 2 police officers and the 2 women and implicated Meyer. He later retracted the confession, saying it had been made under duress, and said this is definitely not true, he said when referring to the contents of the confession. Collis also maintained that Meyer had been at home when the shooting took place and only arrived at the scene afterwards. He said he had even assisted police in locating firearms after the shooting, and said, "I thought I would be a witness in this case, but later the police charged me." Khuzani asked the magistrate to allow CCTV footage to be played in court, arguing that it will not support Collis's claim that he was at home when the shooting occurred. The defense said that the footage would also show that Meyer and Crawford were not at the scene at the time of the shooting. Prosecutor Matthews Rampedi opposed the application, saying the state had already received the footage and would rely on the investigating officer's affidavit. The magistrate ultimately allowed footage to be played in court while permitting the state to place the investigating officer's affidavit before the court. The CCTV evidence is potentially significant because a familiar source with the investigation previously claimed that the footage raised questions about whether Collis was the person who fired the shots. According to the source, Collis was inside his grandmother's house when the shooting happened. The footage allegedly shows another man wearing a dark hoodie and red tracksuit trousers shooting the 2 women before fleeing in a silver-grey VW Polo. The source further claimed that Collis was later seen confronting the alleged gunman and saying, "I saw you." It was also alleged that Collis and his associates had a long-standing rivalry with the Sour Boys gang and had received threats from the group. Several hours before the shooting, the source claimed the attack may have been intended for Collis and his associates. Khuzani also read the affidavits of Meyer and Crawford, both of whom denied any involvement in the killings. Meyer told the court that he was at home when the shooting occurred and only went to the scene afterwards. Crawford similarly maintained that he was at the home at the time. The state alleges that all three men participated in the crimes under the doctrine of common purpose. Meyer and Crawford said they would each afford 2,000 rand bail, while Collis told the court that he could also raise 2,000 rand. The four people killed in the shooting were anti-gang unit officers, Constables Tapelo, Tlomatsana, and Simpiwe Sibego, and civilians Rollin Lissing and Jaden Megaman. According to police, the officers were conducting crime prevention patrols in Regapak when they heard gunshots. They drove towards the sound of the gunfire and were allegedly ambushed. What's your take on this one, people? Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more news.